Greetings, greetings, greetings. We are here. We're here in the lab. We're in the lab here. And just to let you all know that we are here and we may have some guests with us. So we just not sent them the link also. And so we are here. And what's going on? That this is a topic matter that with the guests come in, we're going to discuss it. But then if not, we got some other things that we need to be talking about, that we got some issues, some matters right here in the city of Savannah. And in fact, it's around the entire country. And that is involving, and I'm glad we have one of the guests, and that is Ms. Johnny Moe and Richard Law. So we're glad to have you all with us. Bishop Oliver is coming in. And so, again, want to tell that family, this is a matter that, again, that's important to all of us. And like I said, a matter that's involving, as I tell people, environmental justice. And again, we have some guests joining us and may have some other guests joining us also with regards to this. And so, again, we say to all of you, share, 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 put it out there again. And so we're glad to have you all here. Again, we're in the lab. And now with the guests that we have joining us, we'll let you all introduce yourselves so the audience will know who you are. You may be still muted. You may still be muted.
Okay, can you?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Oh, my name is Johnny May Law, not Johnny Mac, Johnny May Law.
Mm-hmm.
And I am representing the Ogeecheeton Dawes Community Association.
Okay, glad to have you here.
Thank you.
And is Richard Law also, is just you?
Well, he's not feeling well.
Okay,
right
that's
now,
fine. Yeah, not a problem. I just want to make sure that people know if we don't want Mr. Law not to be included, but yeah, okay, good. And so our next guest, go ahead, let people know who you are.
Yes, I'm Bishop Jermaine Oliver, pastor of New Life Resurrection Church over in Ogeecheeton. I'm a new kid on the block, but we're get very active in the community with these issues that's going on.
All right. Well, we're glad to have you. And glad to have you all here. Now, one thing I'm going to say this to Bishop Oliver. You know how we operate. Run, tell that easy going, because we just have conversation. That's what we do, have conversation. You know, you ain't got to be pausing other stuff like that. It's because we want the people to know what time it is, and that's what we do. So again, I'm going to say to you, Ms. Law, let the people know who you are.
Okay, as I said earlier, I represent the Ogeecheeton Dawes community, and we've got some issues going on in that community.
Yes, ma'am. I'm saying, when I say let the people know your connection to Savannah. Let the people know who your family is. That when I say that to people, I want people now, because somebody listening is looking at the show, they say, oh yeah, that's Miss So-and-so and so-and-so. That's Mr. So-and-so wife, or that's Mr. So. Yes, ma'am. So
I couldn't hear you because there was a call coming in that somebody wants to join that probably didn't get the link.
Not a problem. What I'm saying, what we want to do, we're going to get into the issue. How we do the show is that when I ask you, who are you? Tell people who you are. I want them to, you personally tell people who you are, where you're from, if you're from Savannah, if you're not from Savannah, because now I want the audience to not connect with you. That's what it's about. We're going to get into the issue. We're going to roll with that. It's simple for us.
Okay.
But we want the people to know who you are. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, my name is Johnny May Law. I am pastor of Magnolia CME Church in Brunswick, Georgia. I am married to Richard Law Sr., who Let's see, I am a member of St. Paul CME Church. I'm a retired postal supervisor from the Postal Service, been retired since 2006. And I'm just doing what I can do for the Lord and for the community.
And that's what it is. That's it. That's it. So Bishop Oliver, we're going to go ahead, let the people know who you are again. Give them a refresher because you've been with us before.
Yes. Bishop Jermaine Oliver. I'm a native of Savannah, Georgia. Recently moved back from Nashville, Tennessee. I'm a graduate of the one and only Johnson High School. And I'm the pastor of New Life Resurrection Community Church over here in Ogeecheeton. Just want to say hey to everyone.
I got frozen because of what you had just said. I had gotten frozen because you had to bring up something about Johnson. I got frozen. I had to let you know. I had heard you say that. I had heard you say that. But you know that's all good. That's all good. See, because you know I got this on, but I was trying to be nice tonight. I was trying to be nice tonight. But yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I guess I'll say this too. If you all probably some of the other guests that they want, if you want. Text it to them, Bishop Alba. You can text it to them, the other ones who want to come in. But we want to go ahead and talk about what is the community called Ogeecheeton? Where is the community called Ogeecheeton? And we'll start, Ms. Law, where is this community called Ogeecheeton and the community called Dawes? Where is it located at?
Okay, the Ogeecheeton subdivision is most people call it a secret subdivision. It sits down in the bottom, right off of the Ogeechee Road, in front of Action Auto Parts. Before I go into it, Keisha Carter was trying to get in, and she tried to call me while I'm on my phone, and I got to plug
This
my
is not
phone
her
in.
show. This ain't her show. This ain't her
Okay.
show. This ain't Keisha's
Oh, okay.
show. This is not the Oval Show. If she want to get on the show, she knows she need to contact me or contact Julius Hall. Did Julius Hall? See how this, and we say
Okay.
this ain't your mom and daddy's tour. I mean, this is your mom and daddy's show. But yes, ma'am. That one right there.
Okay.
Ooh, no. Yes,
My
ma'am.
phone, I'm trying to plug my phone in because it's about to go dead.
If not,
Let's
Bishop
see.
Oliver said he can carry on. He know how to pick it up and run with the ball.
Yes, Ogeecheeton
Okay.
is off Ogeechee Road. Sit across from Sylvania Funeral Home. Right on the side of Action Auto Parts. Before you're ready to go over that viaduct on Ogeechee, if you're coming from the east side, you to make a right-hand turn. On the right-hand side, you have Ogeecheeton, which is the paved road. But however, on the left-hand side is a community called Voss, and they still have dirt roads on Voss, which is a community also. That's one of the issues that we want to address also. Why in 2022 do we
Well, we
still
want
have
to get
dirt
to that.
roads?
We want the people to know the community, get the people the background. Because some people checking out the show, they don't know nothing about it. We want y'all now to let the people know. Because some people gonna say, "Oh, wait a minute, civilian, the funeral home. There's an Action Auto Part." That's why it's a method to the madness. We know y'all want to jump into, but we want people to now because this issue right here, this is not just a Savannah issue. So I want all y'all to understand this. This is not just a Savannah issue. This is a national issue regarding African American communities and Gullah Geechee communities. So again, and what we're probably going to do for y'all is that the other people outside here going to see this and they're going to understand that how it affects Gullah Geechee people in general. That's why I want people to understand these communities. So now that person in Charleston, that person in Jacksonville, that person in Atlanta, that person in New York, to understand like, wait a minute. Those are Gullah Geechee communities. And Queen Quet has been working on this with regard to environmental justice issues. So that's why I want y'all to give the people so the people know what this is about. So we're going to get into them issues.
All right. Let me tell you this. Ogeecheeton was started in 1910. It's a long-time community. Dawes community is located directly across the road from Ogeecheeton. This community, like I said, was started in 1910. It's a small community. Most of the people that live there are related. Lately, there are other people that have come into the community, and of course, most of them are probably renting, but many of the homes are owned by people who live in the community. My mother-in-law, Dorothy Law, who passed at the age of 93, that was probably about 3 years ago, grew up in Ogeecheeton. There there's a street that's called Eloise Law, the church that the street that Bishop's church sits on, and the street was named after my husband's grandmother. I'm trying to think what else I can tell you about Ogeecheeton. It's a close-knit community. Everybody knows everybody, except for we don't know a lot of the newer people that live there. But you know, a lot of there are about 4 churches, believe it or not, 4 churches in the community. There are 2 on Pate Street and there are 2 on Julia Law Street. I'm trying to think what else I could tell you about the community, but it's been going on for a long time.
Yes, ma'am, and that's fine. Bishop, you want to add anything?
Yes, this community is 100% African American community.
Yes.
Well, every now and then you do see someone of the Caucasian race. I've seen a couple of them.
We talking about
people. Yeah, it is predominantly African American, but every now and then there's somebody who lives down on the end. I don't know who he is, but I've seen him.
And just to give some background, why I was asking Sharon, because one of the things what we do, our show is not just a show that's just local. Again, people understand what I do. I make connections. And so just to give some of the background, when we talk about Ogeechee Road is Highway 17. Highway 17 is important to coastal Georgia. Highway 17 is from Chatham County down to Camden County. And when y'all heard Reverend Law, when she discussed and talked about she being from Brunswick, Georgia, Highway 17 goes through Brunswick also, going through what we know as Needwood, Petersville, and all of that. And that it was a migration that we also see of African people, Ogeechee people from those areas who are now living in these communities all along from Tremont Park, Tatumville, going all the way down into Kyla, Brownsville. And just get some more. Right. Yes, ma'am. And so the background saying some of these older communities that, again, what you all were listening to when they say that is families. What is that? Those you familiar with Ogeecheeton, that is called a family compound. As you all heard me talk about that, Africa still lives with us, and these family compounds are part of our communities. And what they often do, they have us disconnect from those connections, thinking that you have no connection, that you're brand new with regard to, you don't know anything about Africa. That tradition goes back to Africa. That's why you have several family members living in areas, living on these properties. When we talk heirs property, all that is still essential to Savannah and to us in Ogeecheeton. And just to share this with y'all, I purchased a lot in Ogeecheeton that is now about 10 years ago now, almost 10 years ago, on Julia Law. So again, but I'm understanding the story. And then we have talked about, Bishop Oliver and I have talked about this, and we discussed how I looked on the other side of the community and things that I saw 20 years ago, 30 years ago, still issues today, and that's why we're here. So that's why I'm saying to people, we say share, 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 because this is not just a Savannah matter. That again, we must bring attention to this so everyone understand. And just as Reverend Law has indicated, that you would not realize it if you just are oblivious to it. You just go past it. But guess what? That is a family compound that is important to our story as Black people, as Savannahs, as Georgians, as Americans. So now we're going to get into it. The thing that we know that a lot of people are not aware of, there are some issues going on. And as I titled my show, this show in particular titled, My Neighborhood is Hurting Me. My community is killing me. Because there's some things that are happening right now in this community and in 2 Black communities right here in the city of Savannah that are detrimental to their health, that again, that we all need to be concerned about. So I just thought out to either one of you not talk about what are the issues happening environmentally there in Ogeecheeton and in Dawes.
Well, you want me to start? Bishop, you want me to start?
Yes.
Okay. What's happening now and what has been happening for years, there are 2 businesses that one sits at the adjacent to Ogeecheeton. The other one, their back door is directly at our front door. And that is the Clark's Block Company. Clark's Block make these blocks. They've been operating for years. They have had no concern whatsoever about us, their neighboring residents. We have sat down with them and the city. We've had people to come in from the health department. Nothing gets done. We can't, the people in Ogeecheeton, my mother-in-law was not able to sit on her porch. She had to, before she passed, she was on oxygen. There are two other people that passed away. No, more than two. There are about 5 people that I know of that died, and they were on oxygen. My mother-in-law had COPD. I don't know. Several people have had cancer because Clark's Block, they have, when they make their bricks, their cement dust is exposed to the air, and there's something that's called silica that's causing these fine pieces of cement that gets into the respiratory system, and it causes health issues. There are people with asthma in Ogeecheeton. There are people with all sorts of respiratory problems, and there are people with that's suffering right now from cancer. My uncle, well, my husband's uncle, that's my uncle also.
Yes,
Uncle
ma'am.
Frank, he died. He had, I don't know, but he was on oxygen as well. And he was in his 70s. So, Ogeecheeton used to have a history for longevity, but
Mm,
somehow
mm,
we're getting
mm,
away from it
mm,
because
mm,
the younger people are getting sick now.
mm, mm,
Then, not to mention, adjacent, we've been dealing with this action autopods. I
mm,
can't even begin to tell you. And as
mm.
soon as he sells out, he decides he's going to retire. He sells out to a company that's called Savannah Auto something, imports,
Mhm.
I believe, or exports. I'm not sure. But they are now housed in the residential area. We went before MPC. MPC denied. They requested to rezone the area. See, they got cars over the entire area,
Yes, ma'am.
but half of that area, most of the area, they only have maybe about a fourth of the area. So the rest of it is residential.
Mm-hmm.
They went before MPC requesting to have that change to all industrial. They were denied. So we
Mm-hmm.
sat still. We're happy now, they're not going to get their license, but they continue to operate. Who
Mm-hmm.
continues to
Mm-hmm.
operate in the
Mm-hmm.
city of Savannah, okay, without a license? We took pictures, we sent letters, and lo and behold, they said, okay, we're going to court. We're going to go to court. And that was this past Thursday. We were all excited because we thought they were going to court for their citations. Lo
Mm-hmm.
and behold, I got a call saying the court has been canceled, that it's been postponed until January 15th. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
well, that's fine. But then I sent a letter saying that I was, to learn at such a short time that the court was canceled when I'm on the way there, and you call me and
Mm-hmm.
tell me
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand this. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
now I'm sending letters again,
Mm-hmm.
and I was told, no, I'm not gonna call any names, but I received I saw one message saying, please let Mr. and Mrs. Law know what's happening. I get a message says they were issued their, I said they should be shut down because they don't have a license, so they shouldn't be operating. I get a note saying that they were issued a license today. How in the world did you get a license? You were supposed to go to court for your citations. Even if you got a license, what happened to the citations that you got? I don't understand.
I'm going to say, if you all checking out the show, there are several things that Reverend Law has said that should be causing your antennas to go up. And one of the things that, and I was going to wait to get to, but Reverend Law, you said that you received the notice today that they received the license today.
Yes, not today now, Thursday.
On
The
Thursday.
day that they were supposed to go to court, I got a short note. They received their license today.
Really? And
Yes, the
so,
note
and
said, well, previously, I sent it to everybody, all of the city officials. And so there was a note that said, please get back with Mr. and Mrs. Law and let them know the status. And the note that I got back simply said they were issued a license today.
okay.
Really?
And so, and what the God says, who was taking them to court? Was it the city of Savannah or what entity was taking them to
Absolutely.
court? It was the city of
This was the
Savannah.
city of Savannah who had cited them
Right.
at
Okay. I
least
just want to
two
make sure
times
what the
that I
audience
know
to know.
of.
Right. I just want the audience to know City of Savannah was basically taking them to court with regard to the citations. So now, and again, I mean, said Reverend Betty Jones, glad to have you here. And Bernard Wright, you are absolutely correct. One of the things you talk about the silica. And again, it's akin to what people think asbestosis. The same type of matter, the same type of concerns that people see right now, class action suits being filed. People see the commercials. You see all of that. And so right here, we have a matter that's been going on in Ogeecheeton for decades. And again, decades. And again, Reverend Law says something, again, those of you in the audience, what I think was getting relevant when she said that Ogeecheeton was known for longevity with regards to life. Right now, you now have two entities that are impacting the life and the quality of life of people living in the community. And so quality of life is, we're going to segue over to you, Bishop Oliver. There's a community on the other side of 17, which is a combined community, Ogeecheeton and Dawes. Tell us about Dawes. What are the issues over in Dawes?
One of the main issues over at Dawes, this is a community that still have dirt roads. In 2022, you still have dirt roads. As I went over there, I've been talking to some of the residents. Every time somebody drives down the street, you're covered with dust and everything from the cars and stuff that's coming by. And it's they don't have no street lights. It's dark, very dark over there at an early time of night. We need some more lights over there, and it's just real congested. It seems like it seems like they're in a state of Lodabar over there. And then it's actually residents that live over there and been over there for a while, and they all are African American residents. It seems like that this is really happening over here in the African American community, and that's an issue, and we must address that issue also. We want to know why we are left out.
In Dawes, there was a lot of flooding, and most of the people had to move. The city bought them out. That's why there are not many residents over there, because there was a big issue with that as well. What was going on with that, Ricky?
Sewage didn't have no sewage.
They didn't have any. Oh, they don't have any sewage over there now.
No, they had what they did, they had tried to put an industrial lot right there.
Oh, that's right. They put that industrial lot over there, and that industrial lot caused the flooding. So the city bought most of the people out. Most of them moved.
Because of Action Auto Parts.
Because of Action Auto Parts.
And with that, to throw this out, they should, again, to those of you in the audience and what you're listening to right now, you're looking at, they allow an entity to come in there that further cause flooding in a community of African Americans. So the city then says, okay, let's go and buy the property. But then I would dare say this right here, not that I have the numbers myself, I would say that it probably was not fair market value for some of those folks, because this is the issue. This is not a new issue with regard to when we now see our properties not receiving the same type of compensation when we have governmental entities coming in there. And so, and again, I'm familiar with Dawes. Why am I familiar with Dawes? Because I have talked about this and shared that how in the city of Savannah today, right now, that you have dirt streets in a community. 2022, and even when I share this right now, people were stunned. Even today, when I told people about this in 2021, folks are stunned. They said, in Savannah?
That's right.
In Savannah, there are dirt roads in Savannah. I said, yes. And I said, Dawes is a community that I have talked about. That's why I am so happy based on the work of Bishop Oliver, Reverend Law, Mr. Law. Because again, I have shared with people, but sometimes people just think that when Jamal is saying some of this, Jamal is just like, he always trying to put stuff out there. No. I'm saying it because I understand the impact on the lives of people. And so when you hear Bishop Oliver going to say that no lighting over there, you all know by 6 o'clock, it is dark. And so if you don't have your car lights on, you can't even go. And this is a community right here. When Mayor Floyd Adams became mayor in the 1990s, one of the things that he has said upon was that even in the 1990s, as I share, folks, there were still neighborhoods that still had African subdivisions that had dirt streets in the 1990s. He went about rectifying that, but guess what? Not all of that still has been done. And so Dawes is a perfect example of that. And we talk about quality of life. Why are other communities deserving of quality of life, but not for us? Because we think that somebody else is better than us. And we must change that, because we must understand that we sit at the table of humanity like everyone else, and in fact sit at the head of the table of humanity. But guess what? Our communities, our neighborhoods are not treated fairly. You can get sidewalks in neighborhoods right off of Reynolds Avenue that don't need to be repaired, replaced, but are replaced. But you can't even take care of a neighborhood. You can't even pave streets in Dawes, and they cannot address the issues in Ogeecheeton that's affecting the health of the people. And what work have you all been doing? And how long have you all been doing this work with regards to trying to bring attention to this about the issue with regards to what's been happening over there in Dawes and Ogeecheeton? Bishop Oliver, we let you go first. We go, Bishop Oliver, go ahead.
For me, myself, I just came on the board with this, but Mr. Law and Pastor Law, they've been fighting this for well over 25 years.
More like 30 years, Ricky said. He said more like 30 years.
So, Reverend Law, I'm going to say, I know better than that. I know better than that. I know, not in the city of Savannah, not in a city that is majority African American. You're not going to tell me for 30 years you all been dealing with this issue and fighting this issue right here for 30 years. And out there, basically, to the members of the audience, I'm being absolutely facetious about that, because I want to just say, wait a minute. And so,
absolutely,
Reverend Law, go forward with it.
It's been going on just that long, and we feel like, we're being disrespected. We feel like we're being mistreated because we are a Black community. We even feel bullied, because it's been going on so long. Those two companies are bad neighbors. The bottom line is we want them gone. We want to say bye-bye, see you later. That's what we want.
Tell them to begin with the three councilors.
Oh, I don't know. I don't want to call names, but I do know that there are 3 women on the council who's been helping us out.
Mr. Pastor Law, that's what we do. It's not about calling names. See, I'm going to say this. When you shy away from saying stuff like that, then guess what? It helps the other people like that. You can go and say, Alderman Keisha Gibson Carter, Alderman Bernetta Bryant Lanier, Alderman Alicia Miller Blanket. That's why we have to say that, so the audience didn't understand. They're like, okay, what about the others?
They've been helping us.
Right.
Those 3 women have been helping us. They have been tremendously helping us. I mean, they've gone all out of their way. In fact, when these people got their license, they didn't know anything about it. They were in the dark, just like we were. Sad.
And I'm saying, and to the members of the audience who are looking at the show right now, you are hearing information that is happening. And again, as Bishop Oliver said, 2022, Savannah, Georgia, Chatham County, Georgia. That is happening right now. And so you all said some things. You said some things. And I want to go further and say, what are the other things that you want to see happening with regards to Ogeecheeton and also Dawes? What are the things that you want to see happen with regard to the solutions, what you all want to see?
Well, currently, not actually, we want this company gone. We either want them cited again and again and again, because they are on the property that's all residential. I'm told that, okay, they're going to make a mistake again. Not again. They're already making mistakes. Okay. They're on. If you, and I wish I had a drone that we could just see all of it. But as you pass by, cars are all over the place. It's flooded in the residential area. The way they got their license was incorrect. They never went before city council to request a license because had they gone, they probably wouldn't have gotten it. So whatever was done was underhanded.
Okay. And Bishop Oliver, you would discuss something with regards to the traffic and with regards to how it's been hindered with people coming out in Ogeecheeton or coming to Ogeecheeton and the hazards, the safety issues that are over there.
Yes,
Absolutely.
I actually monitor the traffic coming out of the side of Ogeecheeton. I got pictures. I walked up closely, got pictures where the traffic signs in the middle of the street has been totally disobeyed, disregarded to what the signs say. They parked over the sign. They caused a hazard where you can't see the left side. You can't see none of the traffic or anything coming to you, which causes a really a bad hazard. You got kids' schools who are crossing over, can't really see down there. You got parents taking the kids to school, picking them up from school, and this traffic from these big trucks are blocking the view so that you can't see on your left side. And it's causing traffic jams. And they're like in the middle of the street where if you're on the opposite side, both side, trying to get over in traffic, you have to turn, go down, and then come back around at least a half a mile to get over in order to get your traffic going back to west side, which is causing real bad traffic jams. It hasn't been a tragedy there as of yet, but this is a very bad traffic jam.
Intersection.
Yes.
And so and see, Pastor Law, you being generous right now, Reverend Law, you being generous right now. You saying intersection. It's not even an intersection. Because what Bishop Oliver just said to all of you in the audience looking at what's going on.
Traffic jam.
I have experienced that when I have gone over to Ogeecheeton just to like look at the line. That I have, and I'm like saying, okay, how the world do I get out of here? And that they having to go down to even try to get back over to get the Victory Drive. And I'm like saying, so that's why I'm like saying, wait a minute, what you're hearing from people right now, from Reverend Law, the Bishop Oliver, they are giving you all the real deal that is happening right now, today. And guess what? This happens across this entire country regarding Black communities. And we have to say enough is enough. We need people to not step up to the plate and stand up and not collectively. I was going to say this, throwing it out there to those of you who are here locally and nationally. We say we need y'all now to join in with them with regard to this effort. And that's why I want you all now to share, folks. How can folks contact you all to join in this effort?
They can contact either one of us, Bishop Oliver, or myself, or my husband, Richard Law. You mentioned one thing a few minutes ago that we both forgot to mention, Bishop. There's only one way into that community and one way out. You hit that on the head a few minutes ago. So we can't, when those trucks are blocking up, we can't get out and go another way. Then we got to listen to all the noise all night long or all morning long. Maybe somebody sleeps during the day. So we got to listen to all of that, not to mention all the fumes with all of those wrecked cars, you know?
Yes.
So
you can contact me.
They said they offered to water down the mounds so that it wouldn't blow into the community, but they are not following through with that. And then additionally, some years ago, there were only a few mounds. But if you look out there now, they got mounds on top. High, the mounds are higher, and there are many, many more mounds. So it's a lot blowing into the neighborhood. Yes.
And
Dr. Torrey,
Robert Bryant, go ahead.
How can we get contacted? You can contact me. You can write the church directly at 2911 Juliet Law Street, Savannah, Georgia, 31405. Bishop Jermaine Oliver. That's Bishop Jermaine Oliver, 2911 Juliet Law Street, Savannah, Georgia, 31405.
Or you can write to the Neighborhood Association. The address is 2901 Pate Street, Savannah, Georgia, 31405.
and repeat those again. And if you have email addresses, also repeat it so people can hear. And then again, because we're gonna lock this in because this is on local television, so seeing nationally, also on YouTube. I mean on YouTube, and then also seeing on Facebook. So again, put it out there again because we need people to not get involved and understand that this needs to be addressed. Because we got some commentary coming up. I'm gonna share the commentary that folks have said. Go ahead again, repeat the information.
Okay, my husband Richard Law is the president of the neighborhood association. His email is Ricky RICKY Law LAW @bellsouth.net. The address is 2901 Pate Street, PATE, Savannah, Georgia 31405.
Bishop Oliver.
Yes, that's Bishop Oliver at 2911 Juliet Law Street, Savannah, Georgia 31405. You can also contact me at jermainemincy@gmail.com. You can contact me by phone at 912-433-7666. That's 912-433-7666. Thank you.
All right. And we had Dr. Robert Bryant. He's made a commentary with regards to this issue because he's listening, checking out the show. He said Georgia Power, and with regards to what happens with regards to nuclear power in Waynesboro, Georgia, Black communities being affected also. And also coming in cancer cell right there. So that again, from Dr. Robert Bryant. And then Reverend Betty Jones says, only in Black communities. And so then she asked the question, what city district is Ogeecheeton and Dawes?
The district is the first district for the city and the fifth district for the county. The city? Oh, it's in the city, but it's the first district.
Right. Right. That works with the city aldermanic district and also the county, because again, the county is relevant with regards to this. It is something that we all need to be on top of this because again, what happens in Ogeecheeton, happens in Dawes, affects all of our communities. That is not just about them, but it's about all of us. And so what we're going to do, we want people to not understand. We have to stand up. We have to speak out. We have to do this collectively and not just push it to the side. And so now that's why we have the presidents that, again, because that the 5th district has a president coalition. And so they'll be working. They're looking to work with you all on this matter in Ogeecheeton and Dawes. So again, the 5th district, that is, again, they're looking at joining it because, again, they understand one part of Savannah is not just that part of Savannah's issue only. That is all of us collectively. We got Rebecca Rose joining. We say good evening to you. And so, again, Brother Robert Bryant, Dr. Robert Bryant, again, we definitely want to have you involved in this. And so, again, just to share with y'all, like I said, I had always wondered myself, Reverend Law, I was like, how do you get out of Ogeecheeton when it's like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning, or when it's 5 o'clock? When I go home, I'm talking literally, my mind is like, this is a problem. And then when you say, when you look at action and see, and that's what Bishop Oliver was the one who brought it to my attention about Clark. I did not know about the damage that they were doing and that not even rectified, from even putting up a wall to prevent that debris from coming over to not causing those pollutants that are now basically causing harm to people. People might try to make excuses for it, but it is affecting the health of our people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, the Action Auto Parts sits behind Cloverdale. And then it affects Tremont Park as well. So, I mean, it's all Savannah. I mean, like you said, the entire Black community of Savannah. Now, prior to, for years, our alderman was Van Johnson.
Yes, ma'am.
Many years, he was our alderman.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Dr. Robert Bryant saying that we're to go out to the next council. We ain't looking at the next council right now. We talking about issues that got to be resolved right now, today. And that's why I'm like, we got to make the call. We got to make, as I say, the clarion call right now to say, hey, are we going to step up to the plate to now address the quality of life that's affecting our communities? And as I go and say, yes, we have Ogeecheeton and Dawes on right now, but guess what? this is all of our communities. And we see it in all our communities that, again, we see how trash and debris is just left out. They drop trash and debris in our neighborhoods, and they will not do that in other neighborhoods. Why is that? Because they don't expect you all to have the same type of quality in life. And so that's why Clark Block could go and have all this silica and all this other debris that goes where you want to say so aptly, Reverend Law, that here go, your family member can't even sit on the porch. So here it is, you got a house. And so not only sitting on the porch, but that debris and other stuff is all over the place. So now just to share it with some of y'all know that I engage in farming. So imagine if I want to say, hey, we felled some of those trees in Ogeecheeton and we now want to do some farming. Guess what? We got that silica and other debris that's right there that can now go and basically be pollutants in the very things that we're growing. So it's not even habitable. I go and say, when are we going to stand up and speak out with regard to this matter collectively? Because this is not just, again, Ogeecheeton, but this is all of Savannah. And we want more of you to join with them and be involved with regards to these efforts, with regards to, because this is something that we need to even bring national attention to, that this is not just a local issue, but this is a regional issue. This is the national issue that needs to be happening right now. And so I'll say, because I've been told that you all have had some other work done. Have you all done work with the Harambe House? Or has the Harambe House been involved with you all in some of this?
Absolutely. They're involved with this, and they're monitoring the air. I think they're using people from SCAD and from Georgia Southern. They have on several of the homes in Ogeecheeton, they have put this monitor to see what the air, how much pollution is in the air. I don't know where we stand with that, but they have been extremely helpful with that, and they're helping us with some other things as well. We do have something planned for January the 15th on a Sunday, and as soon as we get all the details, we'll email that to you, so that maybe you can, if we can get more people out there with us.
Yes, ma'am. In fact, Dr. Robert Bryant would have said, can we do a walk on Saturday, saying this coming Saturday, doing a walk, at least bring some attention. So that's why I'm going to make the suggestion to him that, Dr. Bryant, you got the information for Mr. Law. So I would say throw it out there. I mean, send an email to him, contact him, to Bishop Oliver. I would say give him a call also and see about that. Something I think that's an excellent idea, Mr. Law, Dr. Bryant, that we can now go and do that. So then that way we can start bringing some attention to this. And then again, with regards to Reverend Betty Jones said, imagine the other neighborhoods that are also affected by this right here. So yes, that's why we're so glad. And we want folks now to be sensitive to this matter right here. Because some people have not been sensitive. Again, as I go and say, I've been stunned when I rode down the streets, and I'm going to let you all know, I've been down in Dawes even this year right here. I've been down in Dawes even back in October. I've been down in Dawes back in during the summer. Because I just go right around looking, because I just want to assess some things. And then again, like I said, so when I now bring stuff up to tell people, like, and I long said to people, you got dirt streets in Dawes. Stunned, which, you know, some of y'all know Liberty City had dirt streets also in the 1990s. But again, here you go, you as taxpayers, I'm talking about taxpayers.
That's
this is
right.
not people seeking handouts. These are taxpayers dealing with these issues. So again, what's your thoughts with regard to some of that, Reverend Law?
Well, I am a taxpayer. We own property and we are paying taxes down there. Betty Jones said something a few minutes ago. She wrote that most of the people in the community, they don't come out to the neighborhood association meetings. They don't even know what's going on in the community. It's sad. They need to come out to the meetings. Most of the time you will find maybe about 4 people to the meetings. Then you have the fire department and the police department. Their same routine all the time. Okay, we know what's going on. Thank you, sir. And it's over. I mean, they don't participate. So I hope that we can get the word out to them. My husband will take and put flyers at their door to let them know we're having a special meeting. Come out and hear what's going on in your community. They don't come. They refuse to come.
See, now I'm going. Reverend Betty Jones is one of our great supporters of Run Tell That. She's a great supporter of Our Black Media. But I'm going to say this right here, that Reverend Betty Jones, and to you also, to Reverend Law, guess what? It don't matter if everybody don't come out. Change can happen by one or two people. And so now, why I'm going to share this with you, and I'm going to say one of the reasons why Bishop Oliver contacted me, because Bishop Oliver was aware of something that started with me merely making a statement back in 2008. Merely making a statement 2008, but I was consistent about saying that statement 2008, 2009, 2010, 2012, 2014, 2000. And so it comes to November 2020. I'm making a statement to somebody, and the person, he now looks at what's happening in Yamacraw, and he said, Jamal, this is not right. I said, I know. And from November 2020, and along with Alderman Keisha Gibson Carter, what then happened? You now have the newest square in the city of Savannah. And as I share with people on that Sunday, when we rededicated the square in Yamacraw, I said, y'all don't know the history. It's because I, on my little tour, would say this was a square. And I showed the people what was happening here, the damage that was happening, because it was ongoing damage from from 2006 up until September 2021. And that's why my people, my students know, my scholars know, I tell them this. I say, I don't care if 1,000 people tell you a lie. You know the truth, you speak the truth. And guess what happened? Some of them that speaking the lies will come over. It ain't got to be all of them, but just the fact that you're doing. And so I'm saying the work that you're doing, Reverend Law and Mr. Law and Bishop Oliver, and again from the Harambe House, guess what? It ain't got to be 1,000. If it's just 5 or 2 or 3 or 1 of y'all, you are not planting the seeds to bring about the change. So Reverend Betty Jones, we know everybody don't come out, even with our neighborhood association, because sometimes things come up. But guess what? That does not prevent us from speaking out and correcting the situation. And so guess what? Bob Spell, that one person who said to me, because he said to me after the dedication out in Yamacraw, he said, Jamal, your tour changed my life. That's what's going on right now. This show can change somebody's life. The work that's being done by Reverend Law, Mr. Law, Bishop Oliver, and the others over in Ogeecheeton can change the lives of other people. That's why we say this issue is not just a Ogeecheeton issue or Dawes issue. This is a Savannah issue that we got to address. And guess what? It's not just a Savannah issue for us just to look at Savannah, but it's an issue around the entire country. And it starts with one of us not going forward. That's why we're honoring them right now with regards to what they've been doing, because they've said, how long you been doing this, Reverend Law? I want you to repeat it again. I can go and say it. How long y'all been on this matter?
My husband said over 30 years.
Woo!
Over 30 years. Woo! It's been a long time. And those companies, like Action Auto Parts, they have a history with Ogeecheeton. They tried to block up the street. They couldn't even, residents could not get out of Ogeecheeton. He lined up cars so that we could not even get out of the community. They had to go to court. This was back in the 70s. I wish that he was feeling better. He could tell you about it. But okay. I just listened to, that's what they told me. They've got newspaper articles about this. So, we've been, and we thought that once that company left, the city would buy the property.
Okay.
And put some apartments or something there. It's a residential area. That area is predominantly residential. Now, what's the city needs to do? You need to start citing those people every day and making them pay every single day that they're violating the code. And they're doing it every day. They're working every day. Anybody can pass by Ogeechee Road, 17, and you look to your right or your left, whichever way you're coming, and you will see these big trucks with nothing but cars. And you look behind that gate, you can't see it from the highway. When you go into the community, and it was so sad that when Action Auto Parts were there and you try to tell somebody how to get to your community, you say, oh, you turn right there by the junkyard. What does that sound like? Turn right there by the junkyard. That's really funny.
Right. That's bad. And you are absolutely correct. And that's exactly how people used to describe how to get to Ogeecheeton. That's right. Right after the junkyard. That's exactly right. What she is saying to the audience, I'm letting y'all know, She is absolutely correct. That's how some people are going to say this. And again, what you were saying, that this has been an issue going on over 30 years. And for some people, this is the first time they're ever hearing about it right now. This is the first time some people
Well, it's
even hearing
longer
about
than 30 years. You know what? It goes all the way back to Robbie Robinson. He
it.
came out.
Ooh,
It goes all the way back. So you know how
ooh,
long ago that was.
ooh. We talking about
Yeah,
40, we talking about 4 decades.
exactly.
We talking about 4 decades. We talking about
Then
four
it took us
decades.
forever to
Talking
get
about, we
a
talking
welcome.
about the 80s.
Yes,
Talking about the
it took us
80s.
forever to get a welcome sign and beautiful sign the city put up. We were coming through there one day. We see these people knocking the sign down that says Ogeecheeton. They spend a lot of money on this sign. So, you know, we get on the phone. We start texting people from the city, letting them know. They said they didn't know anything about it either, that this was going down. We learned that DOT was had decided, because they're going to come through. The Department of Transportation is going to come through, and they're going to widen 17. It's going to be widened. So they needed that area. So they just knocked it down without letting the community know anything. In fact, we're in the dark always. We don't know anything. We have to write and ask what's happening. Let us know.
Um, I want to say this to you, Reverend John. I mean, Reverend Law. I love something that you said, and you presented it, and this, and I want the audience also to get galvanized and understand. When you said that property that's over there, the city of Savannah could acquire that property and turn that into a residential community.
Yeah.
That's why I tell you, when you deal with these issues, you give them solutions. You not tell them what you want to say. You just don't sit there. So when you were saying that, I was like, wow, that's what I'm talking about. I love that. And that again, so again, to Rebecca Rose, Reverend Betty Jones, we're saying a system, they provide the information, contact information, Dr. Robert Bryant, we're saying, hey, let's have that conversation, contact them and see if we can have a march. You know, hey,
Yeah,
even
I didn't get Dr. Robert Brown's email. What's his email?
Dr. Robert Bryant, he has it. I'll make sure we send it to you because
Okay, very good.
it was in the commentary. But
Right.
we're gonna make sure of that. And so
Okay.
even if not, if we can't do it even this Saturday, it might need to be a Christmas one that we're gonna do all. It might need to be during that time period right there to bring a good cheer to humankind. Peace on
Yeah.
earth, bringing peace to Ogeecheeton. Let's bring peace to Ogeecheeton and Dawes. Yeah, let that. That is what you talk about celebrating. It's about celebrating the Savior's life. And what would the Savior be doing right now? The Savior will right now be fighting for Ogeecheeton and for Dawes. I'm
Right.
just saying. You might try to argue with me about that, somebody in the audience, but guess what? I would tell you that Jesus will be fighting for Ogeecheeton and Dawes right now. So I'm
We
saying if Jesus would do that, then you need to do that. Yes, ma'am.
we have an event planned for on Martin Luther King's birthday, January the 15th. And I think what a great time to do that. We both churches on Julia Law Street. We're going to get together with them after service, and we are going to walk up and down
Okay.
that street. Yes, and if we have to have signs, we're going to do that. But we've already made plans to do that.
Okay. Well, we ain't stopping all that. I'm just saying, hey, yeah, that
We can
again,
do it before then, huh?
and even because again, it's memory. Because what happens so often, they think that when we do something, we forget.
Yes.
And we say nothing about it tomorrow, next week. And then what happened? It'd be 10 years down the road when your grandchildren now starting to try to do something about it. And they say, well, you know, my grandmama did this, like, they did this 60 years ago. And so they
Right.
start finding out. So I'm like saying, so again, we've now put it in their mind to let them understand we are here, we're not going anywhere. And so, Reverend Law, what's going to happen? Our show is winding down. I want you to leave, give the last word to the people, something that they need to know, what they need to be involved in with regards to this, whatever you want to tell them. And then we're going to go forward with regards to making these plans and connecting you all with the other people who have contacted us with regards to this. Yes, ma'am.
We thank you for allowing us this opportunity to be on your platform. And we appreciate all that you said. We hope that, I'm hoping, I know that you're going to send me those contacts because we're going to reach out to them. Some of them, I saw some of the messages. They said some great things. And if we could just get people to just join us, particularly on January the 15th on Julia Law Street at 3 o'clock, we would appreciate it. And we thank you for allowing us to share your platform.
Yes, ma'am. We'll get the information to you and Bishop Oliver. We thank y'all, and to the Run Tell That family. We say share, share, share. The show will be aired tomorrow and throughout the rest of the week and the weekend. We say share, 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 and we're going to join with y'all in this effort because, again, Ogeecheeton, Dawes, is health hazards over there right now, physically, emotionally, mentally, and we need to rectify that. Let's bring peace to Ogeecheeton. Let's bring peace to Dawes. Let's celebrate the goodwill of all men and women. That's what we need to be doing. That's our objective. And so, yes, ma'am. And thank you, Reverend Betty Jones, Rebecca Rose, Brother Bernard White, Dr. Robert Bryant. Again, appreciate all of y'all. And say share, share, share. And we'll see y'all next week on Run Tell That. Peace and blessings. Yes, ma'am.
like that.